In the last episodes of Plant One On Me, we joined Justin Schroeder, program manager at the Amazon Spheres, on several tours of their facility. In this episode, we'll visit the top and final level of the Spheres, which boasts their large green walls.
So let's take a quick look at these bowls. We don't rotate a lot of plants out, but we do have some opportunities to bring some things in that we have at our greenhouse that won't do well in here long term, things that like to go dormant. So right now we're highlighting some of our carnivorous plant collection.
Yeah, instead of salad bowls, you have
carnivorous
salad bowls,
we have carnivorous bowls, yeah, carny bowls.
Carny bowls, that's a good one.
Yeah. So you see like the fly traps here. We have the North American pitcher plants, some great butterworts.
Do you ever find people just trying to throw like flies on these?
Yeah, that's kind of what these are for. And then we usually have an ambassador here that kind of is here to answer questions.
Is this all one species of butterwort?
No, it's multiple species.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of.
This one almost looks like it has like two heads.
I know. Yeah, there's some really, really great ones. There's some that have like even like red and white flowers.
I love the. Butterwort always seems to be flowering. Actually, it's a very giving plant.
It loves to flower.
Yeah.
It actually does well in a house setting. We've actually one of the local restaurants that's connected to the Spheres has one of these in there. Behind their bar, and it's flowering, and they get a lot of like little fruit flies and stuff. They get stuck to it.
No, you have food here.
Yes.
You have a lot of plants. It's a little moist. Like, how do you not have fungus gnats here?
Well, we have released a whole lot of predatory mites that go after fungus gnat larvae. And we really, again, try to keep it just down to bare minimums. Mm-hmm. We're just lucky that we just didn't really have a big population to start with, so we're just keeping it really, really low. But you will see...
These look like they're going to get emaciated soon because they're not eating
You'll
them.
see, like, even some of the
sundews,
you'll have, like, little fungus gnats
and
things stuck to
I start to see a little bits over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and what we do for these
it.
guys is we do like a really low nitrogen spray, foliage spray on them occasionally. So like once a week, these guys will get just like a little misty, not too much to saturate the soil, but enough just so that the leaves can absorb that. I mean, that's the reason they're catching the bugs anyways, and they're modified leaves to kind of absorb those the nitrogen, those other nutrients. So they don't really care where it comes from. They just want a supply of it.
That's a really good tip. So when you're saying like a low nitrogen feed, is it like a 1 or is it like a 2? Is it
It's probably around like 50 parts per million, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
It can even be a little less than that, but once a week is really, really a low strength. And these plants have evolved obviously to be able to handle low nitrogen levels, but they do need some food. Mm-hmm.
Great, thanks so much for showing it. And actually this one, I just want to point out the flower right here.
Which is also kind of fun because, I get the question like, well, if it flowers, won't it just catch and eat its pollinators? And typically you'll see these flower stalks that are much farther away from the plant itself, which can help those pollinators not to get accidentally
ingenious.
caught.
And I don't even know. I mean, if it's white, sometimes it's a night, like
exactly.
a
Could
moth
be like
at
a moth,
night.
Moth pollination.
Well, I guess we should highlight some of the trees here.
Yeah, we have this really fantastic canopy walk. It was designed with this little bit of flex in it, so just as you walk over it, you'll feel a little bit of give, but it's totally safe. This gets people up close to our trees and gives kind of a new perspective. You can look down into level 1 and kind of see, these different shapes and textures as you look down on plants, which is really, really cool.
What is that epiphyte hanging in this tree right there?
Oh yeah, that's kind of an oddball epiphyte. It's one that you wouldn't really think of as an epiphytic plant. That's Coriogyne pendula. It's actually in the same family as Panama hat.
I would have never guessed that. I would think anthurium right off the top of my head.
Yeah, we've had, people, what is that orchid? What is that philodendron, anthurium? But definitely not that family.
Wow, bizarre. And this is a ficus then as
well. This is a ficus. So one of the things that we decided to do in this space with these large trees, because we had to bring them across the country, is we we went with tough trees. So everything in the space except for our 3 largest trees are from Central and South America. These trees were chosen because we could prune on them well. They take well to pruning because we can't, we got to be able to maintain them at a certain size. And we knew it would handle the trip pretty well and deal with the stress of that. So it was, I think, about a 3-day trip from California to bring it up. And a lot of the construction on this building was really based around these trees getting placed. So we'd have a lot of stuff and infrastructure in place to be able to support these things once they went in, but it was still an active construction zone. So part of my job when these showed up was to keep them safe from all the other work that was going on. Yeah, so the next thing we're gonna see is our living wall. It's one of the main features in the building. It spans all 4 floors. It's over 60 feet tall and about 50 feet wide.
I'm really eager to see how you did the green wall because I've seen a lot of green walls now.
Yeah, we really did it a lot differently than some of the other green wall systems out there. We did a year-long trial with 3 different vendors and chose this vendor over the others because the system was very much forward-thinking, very sustainable, and met all of our needs. So yeah, just great perspective here, great overlook. This is one of the kind of best spots in the building as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and you have really 2 green walls now that I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's all one
here.
system, which is surprising to people as well. It all ties back into the same fertigation tank in our garage. So this is a view of our living wall from the top. It's fun to kind of, if you're not squeamish, to look down.
Oh yeah, no, this is good for me, and I actually I'm afraid of heights, but it feels sturdy to me.
Yeah, so think of like a cliffside in a valley in the tropics. Our plants on the living wall are low light plants down at the ground level, and as you come up, our diversity changes and we get to more higher light plants. Where you see some of these anthuriums and even some orchids blooming on the wall here.
Yeah, and these blue star ferns.
Oh yeah, those have done really, really good for us. They're super tough. They're almost completely pest-free.
And really striking because it gives it just a different color. And I see that you have them more up on the
and
top.
they will take this brighter light, as opposed to some of the other ferns. That glaucous leaf is usually an indication of something that can withstand a little more light.
Yeah, and I see like the nice calatheas, Deportias, and spathiphyllums down there.
Yeah,
really just a nice rim of them.
It was really just designed in a way that would look as natural as possible. There was no like swaths of certain things. It was really trying to blend things together and just look as natural as possible.
Yeah, not like a mall planting.
Not like a mall planting.
Can we take a closer look at the material that you have at planted?
Yeah, so it's an interesting like pocketed system. You can see some of it here. So it's a fabric that was designed for other uses, mostly in sports equipment, backpacks, and things like that, tennis shoes. It was
sweat wicking type of
sweat
material.
wicking, yeah. So think about like material that pulls sweat away from your body. This just pulls the water from that one source and moves it out like horizontally and vertically even through the material. It has a really good air exchange as well, which is one of those things, roots really love to get oxygen to them. So we have this great oxygen to moisture ratio, which it's almost better designed to grow plants than it is for its original use.
So it's really not a true hydroponic system then?
No, we can call it a true hydroponic system because we do use some substrates and some media in a couple of our pockets, depending on the plants. Some things want just a little bit more to kind of grab onto. So we use like pumice and lots of really inorganic things because we don't want those to break down quickly in those pockets. If we do need to swap plants out, it's pretty easy to pull things out of the pockets. If we had to do any major change outs, this whole system is panelized. So we pre-grew these panels at the greenhouse on 3-foot by 3-foot panels. I believe each panel had about 64 pockets on it. And we laid them out and adhered them to the main wall, kind of like subway tiles. So each seam drains down onto the top of the next panel below it, right in the center. That also helps for that water to move and make sure it like hits all the panels and gets all of them wet.
So I'd imagine that you were trialing some of these well in advance of actually installing it.
Yeah, actually everything we did was a trial. We built a little mock-up of the spheres at our backup facility where we grew plants for 1 year under those conditions and 1 year in our greenhouse, all different types of plants. So we knew going into this like what we could expect as far as lighting levels. We were pleasantly surprised by some of the highlight plants doing really well under this glass. Like I said before, it blocks out a lot of the light that plants need to grow and be healthy. We also did that with our living wall systems. We brought in a few vendors, did a year-long trial, and this really ticked all the boxes for us, as well as being modular and the ability to kind of pre-grow it off-site. It's very sustainable. We really think sustainability as much as possible as we can in here. You know, we don't rotate plants out on a regular basis. The things that we grow, we want things to grow for a long time and mature. This really did all of the jobs that we needed, as well as distribute nutrients really well without building up a lot of extra salts in the fabric.
So let's take a look at the scaping here of this, because I see a lot of ferns. So I see a lot of like rabbit's foot ferns.
Yep.
This is an agapetes right here?
Yeah, this is agapetes serpens. Yeah.
I'd never thought about growing it in a green wall, but it totally makes sense, especially because...
Yeah, they'll grow. And even some of these, like, again, these rhododendrons are just doing really, really well in here.
Yeah.
You know, they've even bloomed for us. We get a lot of good natural light on this wall alone. It's got a nice kind of south-facing, it's south-facing, so we get a lot of natural light. Little overhead, and we've allowed to kind of do these, it's allowed us to do these nepenthes on here too. So you see some of the nepenthes here, some different varieties.
And you have some epiphyllums and some...
Yep, some
I
epiphyllums.
noticed some ripsalis there. At first I was like, where are your ripsalis? But you had some
we
over
got
there.
those in there. We even had some lycopodiums in here.
Yes, I saw the
you know, lots of little surprises.
Yeah, here's one. That little chain-linked one right over there.
Yeah, you kind of have to look for these things, but that's all part of the fun. You know, it's really discovery.
Yeah.
It's getting people in here and, like, you know, seeing things they've never seen before, textures and shapes and colors, and then, like, thinking it might be something else, and then when they find out it's totally different than what they thought, you know, really gets the mind going.
Well, thank you so much for this tour. This is brilliant to be able to just see so many species in such a condensed area. Not saying that this is small. I mean, it's quite large, but you can fit a lot in small areas.
Yeah, it is. It is actually a small space as far as planting goes. So we've done the best that we can with the space we were provided, and we were provided with a fantastic space. So we're very, very lucky.
Well, thank you so much for the tour. This has been wonderful.
It was great.
We've seen a lot of green wall constructions here on Plant One On Me, so I'd be curious to hear what you thought of this one. Tell me in the comments below. If you're enjoying these videos, then there are lots of ways to support, but the easiest is just by clicking subscribe and tapping the notifications bell to be notified when the new episodes drop. And my latest book, How to Make a Plant Love You, looks into how we can transform our relationships with ourselves, our community, and the world around us through the lens of plants. It's available online and in bookstores worldwide. And if you want to elevate your knowledge of the houseplant world, then check out the Houseplant Masterclass, the first online audiovisual course on houseplant cultivation, care, maintenance, and more at houseplantmasterclass.com.